What's up, Circuit Point family? Apple's smart glasses aren't rumors anymore. The leaks are stacking up, and everything points to this being Apple's next major product launch. We're talking glasses that could translate signs in real time, provide navigation without touching your phone, and maybe finally make Siri actually useful. This isn't science fiction. This is what Apple is actively developing right now. Here's the twist though. For the first time in years, Apple isn't leading this race. They're chasing it. Meta, Google, and others are already shipping smart glasses, and Apple's playing catch-up. Today I'm breaking down every leaked detail, analyzing Apple's strategy, and explaining why this launch could define the next decade of wearable tech. Make sure you're subscribed to Circuit Point. Let's dive in. The smart glasses race is heating up faster than ever, and Apple's facing genuine competition for the first time in a new product category. Meta already has Ray-Ban glasses shipping and selling well. Google's pushing Android XR glasses with multiple hardware partners. Even smaller brands like Xreal are establishing themselves in the space. This isn't like the smartwatch era where Apple could enter late and dominate immediately. What makes this particularly intense is that smart glasses aren't just another gadget. They're aiming to fundamentally change how we interact with our phones. Imagine reading messages floating in your field of vision and replying without ever lifting your hand. That's the future these companies are fighting for. The moment Apple's name became attached to smart glasses, the entire industry started paying closer attention. Investment accelerated, development timelines compressed, and the stakes got significantly higher. You're going to hear about cameras, microphones, and AI built into slim frames that look like regular eyewear. But the bigger story is Apple trying to prove they can still dominate entirely new product categories instead of playing catch-up to established competitors. This competitive pressure is actually healthy for consumers. It means better products, faster innovation, and more reasonable pricing. The question isn't whether smart glasses will become mainstream, but which company will define what mainstream smart glasses actually look like. So what do the leaks actually tell us about Apple's smart glasses? The design approach sounds refreshingly straightforward, more like regular glasses with integrated tech than bulky headsets. You'll get tiny cameras and microphones built into the frames for capturing photos, recording short clips, and handling calls directly through your glasses. That alone represents a significant leap in wearable convenience. But the real innovation lies in how these glasses integrate with Apple Intelligence. You'll be able to ask contextual questions about whatever you're looking at. Standing outside a restaurant? Ask about the menu and see it displayed immediately. Check for allergens, find alternatives nearby, all without pulling out your phone. This feels less like scrolling through apps and more like having an intelligent assistant that understands your visual context. It's ambient computing in its purest form. Here's what you shouldn't expect. Holographic displays with floating interfaces everywhere. Apple's first version sounds closer to Meta's Ray-Ban glasses approach, but with Apple's ecosystem integration and polish. That means features you'll actually use daily rather than sci-fi technology that impresses in demos but fails in practice. Siri and Apple Intelligence will serve as the operational brains. And let's be honest, Siri desperately needs improvement. If Apple ships these glasses with the same frustrating Siri we've dealt with for years, the entire product could feel like an expensive toy rather than an essential tool. Privacy features are baked in from the start. Leaks suggest visible indicator lights when recording, ensuring people know when cameras are active. This privacy-first approach is quintessentially Apple and crucial for public acceptance of camera-equipped eyewear. Here's where Apple's strategy gets really interesting. At their latest software event, they introduced something called Liquid Glass, a new UI design language that initially seemed like simple visual polish. But pay closer attention, and you'll see Apple quietly showing us what smart glasses interfaces actually need. This design philosophy emphasizes floating menus that adapt to surroundings, layering information without blocking your view of the real world. Apple's VP of Design literally said this new look lays the foundation for future experiences. That's not subtle. It's practically an announcement that wearables are coming. Apple has executed this playbook before. Remember when iPads got trackpad support months before the Magic Keyboard launched? They train users and developers before hardware arrives. Developers are already being encouraged to design apps with more depth, layering, and spatial awareness. That's Apple preparing the ecosystem for smart glasses without explicitly announcing them. This is classic Apple strategy. They don't drop revolutionary products out of nowhere. They warm up the market, prepare the development community, and ensure the ecosystem is ready before hardware launches. Then they make it feel like they invented something entirely new. The liquid glass interface represents Apple thinking years ahead, building the software foundation that makes smart glasses feel natural rather than gimmicky. The real power of Apple's smart glasses isn't just the hardware, it's how they'll integrate with everything you already own. You're already carrying an iPhone. Many of you have AirPods, possibly an Apple Watch. Now imagine glasses that seamlessly tie everything together into one unified experience. Picture walking through an unfamiliar city. Your glasses show directional arrows, AirPods whisper turn-by-turn instructions, and your iPhone handles the heavy computational lifting silently in your pocket. Each device plays its role in creating one seamless navigation experience. This is where Apple will absolutely shine. They don't need to reinvent fundamental technologies, they need to make all the pieces work together effortlessly. Look at their track record. AirPods didn't launch with revolutionary features, they just paired instantly and worked reliably. The Apple Watch didn't immediately dominate fitness trackers, it made wrist notifications feel obvious and necessary. These smart glasses don't need to blow minds with individual features. They need to feel easy, natural, and essential. That's what Apple executes better than anyone, taking complicated technology and making it feel obvious in retrospect. Once Apple achieves that seamless integration, competitors face an enormous challenge. Users won't just be buying glasses, they'll be deepening their investment in an ecosystem that already surrounds them. The technical specifications might not lead every category, but the user experience could make those specs irrelevant. That's been Apple's competitive advantage for decades. When can we actually expect these glasses? Reports indicate Apple's already working with prototypes before mass production begins. This isn't vaporware. Real progress is happening behind closed doors. Apple typically executes slow-burn rollouts. They plant early seeds. Remember trackpad support arriving on iPad before the Magic Keyboard existed? Pencil support landed before most people thought they needed stylus input. They're executing the same strategy now, quietly preparing developers and conditioning users before hardware arrives. But here's the critical difference. The competitive pressure is significantly heavier this time. Rivals are moving fast, smaller brands are experimenting aggressively, and consumer interest in wearables is building momentum monthly. If Apple delays too long, they risk missing the critical adoption window where mainstream consumers are genuinely curious about smart glasses. Nobody wants to be the company arriving late pretending the party just started. This creates fascinating tension. Apple's methodical approach conflicts with market urgency. Can they move quickly enough while maintaining their legendary attention to detail? The stakes are enormous. Success could define the next decade of personal computing. Failure could signal that Apple's dominance of new product categories has finally ended. Apple isn't just trying to build great glasses. They're juggling unprecedented challenges from multiple directions simultaneously. The Vision Pro launch demonstrated how brutal pricing and adoption challenges can be for new wearable categories. That expensive lesson still echoes through their product development. European regulators are forcing fundamental changes to App Store policies and hardware standards. Political pressures around manufacturing locations continue intensifying. Supply chain complexity remains an ongoing headache. Jony Ive, the design legend who defined Apple's aesthetic for decades, is now collaborating with Sam Altman at OpenAI on mystery devices that could directly compete for attention and talent. Their decade-long car project died unceremoniously, a massive missed opportunity representing billions in investment. Their AI capabilities lag behind competitors despite massive resources. Legal battles continue across multiple jurisdictions. Each delay hands competitors more ground, more market share, more developer attention. It's a lot for even Apple to manage simultaneously. They remain massive and financially powerful, but the pressure on them now exceeds anything they've faced in years. That's why these smart glasses matter so profoundly. They're not just another product launch, they're Apple's opportunity to prove they can still lead new categories instead of merely following competitors. Despite these challenges, Apple retains advantages nobody else can match. Their hardware design remains in a completely different league. You know they'll make these glasses sleek, comfortable, and genuinely stylish enough for daily wear. That sounds simple, but it's incredibly difficult. Most smart glasses look like tech demos, not fashion. Apple has an uncanny ability to take weird, experimental technology and transform it into something everyone suddenly needs. The iPod wasn't the first MP3 player. The iPhone wasn't the first smartphone. The Apple Watch wasn't the first smartwatch. But Apple made each category feel obvious and essential. They take technology that starts out niche and awkward, then polish it until mass adoption feels inevitable. These smart glasses won't exist in isolation. They'll leverage the ecosystem you're already invested in: iPhone, AirPods, Apple Watch, iCloud, Apple Music. Once Apple gets the core experience right, the ecosystem lock-in becomes incredibly powerful. Their retail experience means you can try these glasses in person before buying. Their customer service means issues get resolved. Their software updates mean features improve over time. The integration depth that comes from controlling hardware, software, and services creates experiences competitors simply cannot match through partnerships alone. So here's where we stand. Apple's smart glasses are coming, with mounting evidence pointing toward a design that blends everyday eyewear aesthetics with cameras, microphones, and an AI layer built around Siri and Apple Intelligence. Expected features include live translation, turn-by-turn navigation, contextual information overlays, and heads-up notifications that could fundamentally change how we interact with digital information in physical spaces. But competition isn't waiting. Meta, Google, and numerous smaller players are already carving up the market, establishing expectations and building customer bases. Apple needs more than just polish this time. They'll need truly seamless ecosystem integration, dramatically improved Siri capabilities, and enough innovative features to make these glasses feel genuinely futuristic the moment you put them on. This could be Apple's next iPhone moment if they execute properly, the product that defines a category for the next decade. Or it could be the moment we look back on and realize Apple's era of category dominance finally ended. The next 12 to 18 months will be absolutely critical. Smart glasses represent the future of personal computing, and every major tech company knows it. That's it for today's deep dive into Apple's smart glasses strategy. If you want to see some of the best smart glasses you can actually buy right now, check the links in the description. We've covered several excellent options in previous videos. If this analysis helped clarify what's coming, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We're tracking every development in wearable tech, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited about Apple glasses, or do you think they're too late to the party? Thanks for watching Circuit Point, and I'll see you in the next one where we explore the technology shaping tomorrow.